Muscle Car Modeler. My name is Revell, and this week's feature model build of mine that I'm doing this week is this 69 Camaro RS SS. Now, what can you say about a 69 Camaro? I mean, there's a lot of info and a lot of options and things that were going on with the Camaro. So a pretty universal thing. There are things I like about it and things I don't like about the 69 Camaro. So not hating on it. I just think the 67, 68 body style is a little cleaner and the RS grill's a little cleaner. And I like these. So this one I built as an SS. It's the Revell kit, and a lot of mods have been done to this to make this what it is. But a couple of interesting, when it comes to the 69 Camaro, there's so much information, there's so much stuff out there, and a lot of cars restored and modified, and so there's a lot of confusion, and really it's getting really hard to research what options were available on these cars and what were not. According to reading and research, this is the SS hood. The cowl induction hood was, in most accounts and most research, the cowl induction hood was not available on the SS. It was Z28 only, and the big exception is the pace car convertibles, and there were some pace car coupes. Those came with the cowl induction hood on those replicas as standard, but supposedly on a 69 Camaro that wasn't available on all of them. But I guess since production went on so long, supposedly there were some built with it, but general paperwork and options say that that hood was a Z28 only hood, with the exception of the pace car convertible. The other thing about that is this stripe. This is the optional stripe on the SS. That's, you know, if it was an SS from the factory and you ordered the stripe package, this was the stripe you were going to get. There was another stripe called the DX1, which went across the nose and had two spears that went up the hood. That was except SS. So you mostly see that on rally sports that were dressed up with a stripe, but that were not super sports. If you're not familiar with the 69 Camaro, you kind of would have to be if you're into muscle cars, because that's like a bread and butter one. But there's so many options, there's so many possibilities. So I'm kind of going to leave some of them out. I'm not going to talk about the Z28 much and Copos, some of that. But this one I dressed up with the Rally Sport package, which has the hideaway headlights and grille. And then it has the special taillights, different taillights. And then the backup lights are actually down here below the bumper. That was all part of the Rally Sport package. And then this one being the SS. If it was not an SS, the emblem in the grille right here would be RS. But on a Rally Sport Super Sport, the SS overtook the RS. So the RS emblem disappeared in the SS. And then another interesting, if it's the Z28, the SS and RS, well, you couldn't get an SS Z28, but at Rally Sport, the RS disappeared completely, but the Z28 emblem was in the grille over here. So for this car, and most SSs were 350s or most were 350s, and there was also 396 cars. I did this one as a 396. There were 4 different 396 engines available. There was a 325 horse, a 350 horse, and 2 375 horse ones. I did this one as the L89 aluminum head engine, so I painted the heads and intake aluminum on this one. So I dressed this one up and went a little detailing it to replicate that engine. And another thing is in 69 to Camaro, all new sheet metal. But here's a little trivia question for you. Except for 2 items, the hood and the trunk are interchangeable with 67 and 68s. Believe it or not, all new fenders, all new sheet metal, all the way around. I believe the roof skin is actually just a tad different also between a 67 and 68. But the hood and trunk are actually the same. And the 68 used these same grills, and the 67 had different inserts in the hood, but the hood itself was the same. And the same with the base hood. They were completely interchangeable. That's why if you see a 67 or 68 with a cowl induction hood on it, it fit. Even though it was a 69 option, it fit on the 67s as well. So some of those were swapped over. Another thing with the stripes, most people call them the SS stripes or the rally stripes. I think GM actually called them the rally stripes that were on the hood and on the deck lid but not on the roof. They're a Z28 only option, and that's the same piece of trivia with that one, is also in black and white only. The exception being, again, the 69 pace car convertible and the replica coupes. They had those stripes on them, but only in orange. But only in orange. So if you wanted orange stripes, you had to have the pace car replica or get them custom painted. But from GM, the Super Sport stripes, not Super Sport stripes, the Rally Sport stripes, black or white only. Same thing with this stripe, black or white only. But I had some fun building this one. This one, not quite out of the box. As you can see, there's the hood. Now that's not a resin hood. This is actually an AMT hood, and here's one of the AMT hoods from their convertible kit. And all I did was reshaped this a little bit, sanded that, re-arced it. Matter of fact, if you put the two hoods side by side, you can kind of see the difference. So I sanded that in, reshaped that. I really didn't have to narrow it, and then you can kind of see after that how much of the front of the hood here I had to remove to get it to fit the Revell body. But it fits the Revell body. It takes some effort. And then a little sanding around the edges to thin it out so it'll sit down also, which makes it a bit more work. So you can see the difference on the inside. And Model Haus used to have a resin hood that dropped right on, but this one is an AMT hood that I had used. And this is another one for another one of my 69 Camaro SS projects. I've got many of these Revell kits. Great kit, love it. It's a bit finicky to put together, so you got to be careful. So there's a few tips. I'll get into some of those. Painted it Fathom Green, but this one really isn't Fathom Green. I actually bought Tester's Fathom Green and I sprayed it with Tester's Fathom Green, and I didn't like the green it was. It didn't look anything like what I was seeing in any of my reference photos. And then this one is actually the Tester's British Green Racing Metallic that I really like, and it really looks good. So that's what I ended up spraying on this one after I stripped the body and did it again. And the tail panel is blacked out, and that SS emblem is photo etch. All of the emblems and trim on this are actually from the photo etch set from Model Car Garage. Although I left the grill alone because it comes with photo etch for a lot of that. I left it alone. It was kind of a pain. I did it on another one of my cars, but decided that I was going to leave it alone. And getting these to stick on the side was kind of a pain. The interior, I went with a green vinyl. So parts of the interior are olive green. So I wanted to be a little different, but trying to research 69 Camaros. And there's a lot of give and take and confusion about what was available and what's factory. With so many options, it's not surprising. And then to think about, this car is 51 years old now. So if you were 16 and you wanted to go to the dealer and buy this car, if you had the means, some did, but that means you'd be 67 today. So it's kind of weird to think about some of that. And so after all these years, all the confusion, and GM made a ton of these, 248,000 of them, something like that. Between 2 doors, 4 doors, convertibles, and wagons, they made a ton of them. But these were, and it was a long production run. There was some engineering and tooling problems going on. I read somewhere about a strike also. So you always hear about the 70.5 Camaros, but they're really not 70.5 Camaros. They're all VINed as 70 Camaros. But the 69 Camaro, because that car was delayed, This car was made all the way into November of 1969. So this had a long production run. Something like 16 months of production. So, you know, and they made 248,000 of them. Now, I was joking. I was just seeing, you know, how many of you guys are going to comment or catch on when I said four-doors and wagons. No four-doors and no wagons of 69 Camaros or Camaros at all. Be kind of fun to see one, but they're not out there. They didn't make them. But I've been at shows and I've had seen people, you know, you have a Revell four-door or a wagon or a Nova four-door. For some reason, I've heard people going, I didn't know they made these in four-doors. It's like, yeah, they did. You don't see them because they're pretty much parts cars and they're not at the shows. But just having a little fun right there. But so here's my L89 engine with the aluminum heads dressed up. Now, if you notice, there are exhaust manifolds there, not headers. So I did a little bit more conversions to this one besides just adding the SS hood and the photo etch and not using the rear spoiler, because not every SS Camaro had the rear spoiler. And another thing I did to the bottom side, no chambered exhaust. And ironically, that's the exhaust system right from the Revell 69 Nova, right from the Copo kit actually, exhaust manifolds and all. And it pretty much, you know, it fit the chassis and pretty much dropped right in. Really didn't have to do a whole lot of fitting with it. Now, the exhaust manifolds, I had some issues with the exhaust manifolds hitting the frame a little bit, the high frame. So I had to do some clearancing in the engine compartment so that the exhaust manifolds fit. So there was actually more work changing out those exhaust manifolds. But I just wanted to, you know, get a little more stock with this one instead of the chambered exhaust, which was available, but kind of a rare option. But, you know, all the Revell kits have the chambered exhaust and headers. But I built this one and just had some fun with it. It was one that was on and off my bench quite a bit. And I like building the car. And I think I built 5, 6. I've got 5 or 6 of these that I have built. So, I mean, I could do Camaro month and just cover 69 Camaros that I have built. But, because I don't have all of them. One of the Z28s that I built it box stock, blue and white. Something happened to it, fell off the shelf, kind of broke apart. I tore it apart and was going to rebuild it. And never got that one back apart. But the Baldwin Motion kit and the Yanko kit, I still have my original builds from 1990. Those two I have. And I have more of those kits to build some more of them. So you'll be seeing some more of these and some more projects and multiple convertibles. Like I mentioned, the pace car convertible. I got one of those. I'll show you that in one of my weekly features. But so I figured this week I would show you this one and kind of get into some of the trivia and unique things about 69 Camaros that you may or may not know about. But and just hope you enjoyed it, and thanks for tuning in and subscribing and hitting that bell button. And please share share my videos, share them out, and you know, if you like them and you're enjoying them, I appreciate it. And comment. So again, thank you, and you guys, you have a wonderful day.